Mr. President, I stand in favor of this motion, and for two reasons, really. I just want to, and they're completely different, but I just want to spend a moment articulating them. First, growing up and living in central Pennsylvania, I think of all the small towns, towns like Lock Haven and Clearfield and St. Mary's and Johnstown, which isn't necessarily so small, Altoona, where, when I grew up, they were vibrant towns that had industry. Many of those organized labor, blue-collar jobs, but lots of industry in those communities. And because of really bad public policy decisions, mostly by Washington, D.C., a lot of those jobs left, all in the name of going overseas for cheap labor. And one by one, we saw factory after factory shut down. And what we've seen in the wake of that is, we're going through the census right now, right? And again, central and western Pennsylvania, where a lot of those blue-collar worker factory jobs that supported families, supported communities, that went away, and our population is not growing at the level. And you're seeing, population reduction after reduction, which is having pressure on our schools, having pressure on our state system of higher education, because we don't have the population to support all the schools that we once did. And those decisions made by policymakers at the time had a significantly negative impact on our communities. So here we are, we get this lifeline, right? Energy, with the introduction of the Marcellus Shale and just adding to our energy portfolio. So we have a chance to grow industry again here in Pennsylvania, to create those good paying, family sustaining jobs in communities that have been struggling to provide that. And this public policy decision by the governor would have a tremendous negative impact on that growth of jobs. That's why you're seeing every building trade group out there supporting this measure of us to stop Pennsylvania's entry into the Regional Gas Alliance. We can't have a first-rate economy if we don't have jobs that support families. The energy sector is a major area of growth for jobs. Look, we have to produce energy in this country. We have to produce energy in this Commonwealth. For those states that don't want to do that, I understand, but at the same time, they're still using the energy. And so this is Pennsylvania's lifeline. This is our lifeline to rebuild those communities, rebuild those towns, get the natural gas, get the other energy sources out to different communities so that they can develop industry, develop companies. We already have the location. We're close to the big part of the population in the country. Cheap energy as well would be a tremendous job creator for Pennsylvania. And so we can turn this corner back, and make sure that we can create those jobs again, that can support those communities, that can support those schools, support all the social services in every one of those communities. This is our chance. This decision to enter into RGGI is sending a terrible message across the country about Pennsylvania. A terrible message that you're going to see lack of investment. We just saw, because of an unfriendly environment, two great Pennsylvania companies, U.S. Steel and Air Products, make a decision to do their investment elsewhere. They didn't want to invest in Pennsylvania. They've been investing in Pennsylvania for decades. They found the environment too unfriendly, so they're going to go elsewhere. That's a horrible, horrible message. And this, doesn't, as it was stated by the Attorney General in his release today, this doesn't accomplish what you're looking to accomplish. If we want to improve the environment in this country, on this planet, reshoring those jobs overseas back to Pennsylvania, back to America, where we do it better, more environmentally friendly, is what we should be focusing on. If we've seen anything through COVID, it's that these supply line issues we're having now, right? Because we've been reliant on cheap labor overseas for so long. These corporations made this decision, poor decision, that hurt our communities. And now we're seeing, not having that independence, not having that ability to make those supplies, all of a sudden, we got supply line issues from everywhere, from cars to chickens. It's amazing to watch. So we can't make another bad public policy decision that's going to continue to hurt our job climate, to hurt our communities. Hurt our healthcare systems. So from that perspective, from public policy, that's why I support this motion today. But for another reason as well, which I think is important for all 50 of us to sit in this chamber. Whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're from the east or the west or the central part, we all represent the legislative branch, the people's house. As the institutional officer, I take great pride in my career here in the legislature. And we're an equal body of government. We go first, the executive branch goes second, the judicial branch puts the final stamp. To have the executive branch unilaterally make this public policy decision for the people of Pennsylvania without the people's voice, the people's house, having a weigh in on this is a process that should concern every one of us. Because someday that executive branch may be occupied by a Republican. Someday it'll be occupied by Democrats. And do we want the executive branch to outrun us on a major public policy decision? Every environmental organization, multi-state compact that we're in, whether it be the Susquehanna River Basin, whether it be the Chesapeake Bay, whether it be the Delaware River Basin, every one of those was statutorily passed by the legislature and signed by the governor. Governor Rendell, my time here in the legislature, did a great job of getting environmental policies that he wanted, whether it be the Growing Greener 2, whether it be the Alternative Energy Portfolio Standard. He was able to negotiate with the legislature and get a Republican legislature to pass it, and he signed it into law. Just because this governor hasn't made the case to the legislature to get us to pass this, to enter into this compact, doesn't give them the authority to outrun, to end run the legislature. This is our job. The 50 of us, we have a say in this. It impacts every one of our constituents. And to think that the executive branch can unilaterally move past the people's house is something I take major objection to, and I think all 50 of us should take major objection to, because it may not be, you may be happy with the public policy decision that the governor is making today. You may not be happy with the next one. And I would like to think that I will be here, whether it's a Republican governor or Democrat governor, making the same argument. They have no authority to do this outside the legislature. We're the people's voice. We need to be heard. I ask for an affirmative vote.